The market. I hope you guys are ready for some exciting action, and I just want to come out here and, as always, give a nice big I told you so to everybody. It is so hilarious to me at every turn that we get a little bit of volatility in the market and somehow we end up at extreme fear on the fear and greed index due to a government shutdown that's going to get resolved, and off of a statement out of the Federal Reserve that says, oh, we don't necessarily have the data that we need in order to make the proper decisions. And if we get that data, the other data points that we have received are actually in support of another cut. Guys, people love to get way too emotional and worried about money that they are not planning on touching in the near future anyway. I said this in the, in the private stream this morning with LTMP. It's like one of the most interesting elements of like human behavior when you look at the market like this and you just see the amount of fear that starts to happen, that starts to build when like nothing is actually wrong. Now, again, we are seeing some very, very positive action out of the market today. So again, the one thing that we are talking about a lot is that just because we are seeing some significant moves up in a lot of these individual names does not mean that it is just fun time, risk on, go crazy just yet. The bill still has to go through the House. And in addition, we are still seeing, again, this is also volatility. Like coming back to the upside here in this way does not mean that we could not see some aggressive moves down. But what this does do is this provides the first step forward in showing us where those absolutely epic setups are going to be forming and where they're going to be, so that we can go out and identify those A+ setups and nail them. I mean, again, though, even like this is why I'm like so excited about what we're seeing right now, is that even last week, you guys saw we had an epic MDB trade. We had a couple of other textbook epic trades, and then also post earnings, the 850% Rivian trade. Like, guys, in any market environment, the LTMP methodologies that I teach you guys in the group are still going to print for everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about today, but it is that time of day again. Before we get it, what was I going to say? Say good morning to somebody in the live chat. If you guys would like to say good morning to me, I would love to receive some good mornings over here. Let's do a little bit of a roll call. Again, if you guys are new to the group, new to the stream, new to the channel, let me know. I'd love to welcome you guys in here. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys are hitting that like button on the way in. It costs you absolutely nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot in spreading this information out to as many people who actually want to learn. Again, I've told you guys, I've outlined some insane setups for you guys. All you got to do is hit the like button, get up to 200 likes, and I'll start outlining some of the best setups in the world for you guys yet again for free. If not, again, I'm just going to keep saving them for the LTMP group, and they're going to be receiving the best setups in the market as they always do. So, team, no slackers on the like button. Let's see what we get here. We have Eddie, Fuzzy, GC, Jerry, Sven, Ian, Garrett, Dawn, Jay, Yuki, Classic, Jody, one of one, Tim, Nathan. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The free car giveaway? There is never a free car giveaway. But yeah, Google looking great over here after that break this morning so far. Let's honestly, if the market turns up a little bit more today, we could see this thing at new all-time highs today at 292.20, which would be very, very, very interesting there. So again, let's kind of take a look through. A lot of slackers on the like button. Oh boy, you guys really don't want the best setups in the market, huh? Interesting. So, again, I don't know how much more clear I can make it. It's like, guys, when we see these periods of volatility, I don't know why everybody freaks out. It's like, okay, it's just sit back, relax, and do nothing time, and then waiting for those initial signs like we saw yesterday and today out of the market to give us the indication that, okay, we can start really hunting again, and some of these setups that could start firing off could be absolutely insane. Like, guys, you got to realize, like, the vast majority of your trades from the year are going to come from a small percentage of your trades. That's what being a real market participant is actually like. It's not this nonsense garbage day trading crap that everybody tries to shove at you. So, let's check in on a couple of these individual names here, see how they're doing. Nio over here is up about 2% here, still hanging out very nicely on this weekly time frame here. Nothing too crazy, but we are going into earnings on Monday, so there's not going to be anything to do with this one. But Monday is going to be an interesting day for Nio. We're going to get a lot more insight into how the company is doing fundamentally, and then kind of look and see how likely is it for them to hit some of those profitability targets going into the fourth quarter, or going through the rest of the fourth quarter of this year and into the first quarter of 2026. Then looking at Palantir over here. Palantir, I mean, this thing is up, oh my God, 8% on the day. Damn, there you go, Palantir. Trading likes for secret charts. There's no secret charts, guys. The chart's not a secret. It's not hard to read. Once you understand how to read it, which doesn't take you guys very long, you guys are going to be all good to go. So, Palantir looking great today, up 8%. But as I always say with this one, it's not one that you buy. It's not one that you short. It's just one that you sit back, relax, and watch the gains that you guys have made since I outlined this one for all of you guys at 15 bucks. I mean, it was probably honestly lower than that way before when we were talking about this thing years ago. But over the last like 2 years here, 15 bucks was that entry point I gave out to everybody. So congratulations. There's nothing to do on this one. Just kind of roll with the punches and see where this thing wants to continue going. SoFi. Ooh, up 6%. I'm probably up a lot of money today. I haven't even looked. I should. AMD, SoFi, we got Nio going, you got Facebook going. You got a lot of things moving for me here. Gold is up. I mean, I should probably look at that at some point because that's looking really good. But yeah, SoFi up nicely again. I think it actually hit 30 here. Yeah, SoFi back to almost 30 here, looking good. I mean, again, this is like, a lot of people today are going to look at this market just like they did when the market was starting to nuke to the downside after the tweet and starting to take a lot of action. Guys, this is not the day to be taking a crazy amount of action in the market. This is the day to say, okay, look, we have some really positive news, again, coming out with the government shutdown looking like it's going to end. We have, again, overall positive trade developments between the U.S. and China. We're going to be receiving a little bit more economic data here so that the Fed can get a little bit of a better picture into what we're looking at across the board. Then we're going to go into December and kind of Q4 holiday season, so we're going to get a lot of insight into the consumer from that. There's a lot of interesting elements here that could easily charge the market up into the end of the year. Now, if that is going to happen, what that means is that over the next 4, 5, 6 weeks here, we're going to have an unbelievable amount of setups, which means that we don't need to be forcing anything in the short term at all. So let's see what we get going into the rest of the day here, guys. But it is looking really, I kind of want to see when I'm up today. It's got to be a lot of money. Let's see. It's got to be a lot. Like even just a couple of those are probably ridiculous. I haven't even looked at this in a little bit. That's good. Nice 5-figure day. All right, let's see. Yeah, any tickers that you guys want me to cover, let me know. You guys know the deal. Don't be doing anything really stupid. And again, the other thing too is that when you look at all of these elevated levels of fear in the market, where is that actually coming from? Well, what most people are doing in the market a lot of the time is they're thinking about all of the decisions that they could make and then picking the dumbest and stupidest possible one. They're saying, oh, look, everybody is talking about all of these stocks. They're up 500% in the last 2 weeks. Let's buy them. And then what happens is they buy them and they go down 50% in the next week and the market starts to slip and they start freaking out. Which again, I can see where the fear elements are going to come in from that standpoint, but you shouldn't have been making those decisions in the first place. If you were making smart decisions in the market all the way up until this point, you have nothing to worry about. If you've been listening to all of the different concepts and the lessons that I've been giving you guys on here, you have nothing to worry about because you put yourself in position A every single step of the way. BJRI? I like Rig. Rig looks interesting. BJRI. What's this? BJ's Restaurants? Oh, the burger? Isn't this burgers? It looks good. It's not perfect, but yeah, that looks interesting. What's the market doing here? Slipping a little bit, but just chopping around. Is it possible for SNDK to stop going up? Didn't I highlight that one for you guys like a month ago? Yeah, oh my God, that thing is ripping. Yeah, I think it was back in here off this setup. End of October. That makes I'm pretty sure it was right in here. The 157 break, the stock's at 266. Nice work. Nice work, guys. Google looks good. I mean, the market, again, like I was talking about with you guys this morning, we wanted to see how that first 15-minute candle was going to go. You saw a big push to the upside, and then all the market has done since then is chop, which makes a lot of sense. Which, again, is why I was saying today, it's like, this is still not sling go crazy territory. This is still, if there's something that you want to take, size it for 0, because again, if the moves are going to happen, like you guys have seen time and time again, like they're going to be absolutely massive, but you got to make sure that you're able to deal with the short-term volatility that we're seeing. So now the market's slipping a little bit, nothing too crazy across the board. I can check the news feed, but this is probably just a little bit of a technical pullback. Let me see. United Airlines and Delta Airlines offering flight attendants extra pay to pick up flights. Donald Trump's lawyers demanded. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. So all we're seeing is a little bit of chop and a little bit of volatility here. And what did I say in the pre-market stream to you guys? I was like, well, if we're going to see anything out of the market today, it's most likely going to be chop, but within a big range, which is kind of what we're seeing here. We're seeing the range from like 68.35 all the way down to 68, so a 10-point range, which is not crazy big, but it's decently sizable there. ASST, this is an interesting one. I mean, again, this is kind of the level that I was highlighting for everybody, 180, right around there. I mean, it's moving interesting today. It's up 6%, but I mean, they're share trades. See what happens to them. Google hit 290 today at one point. I thought it was almost 291. 290.43. I mean, that thing was getting up there. Google could be a really, 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 really dirty one here. Like, this could move like crazy. Especially if the market heats up a little bit and you get some more like AI announcements or something comes out. Google could have a lot of fun at these levels up in here. Ford looks okay. Nothing too crazy there. Let me check on the alcohol brands because those have been looking interesting. I want to see how they're faring today. I mean, a little bit of volatility here. Bud's down 0.6, but this chart is still looking great. That chart's still looking great. And you guys are 8 likes away from being a quarter of the way there on the like goal for me to talk about some more epic setups for you guys. So let's see if you hit it. Let's see how bad you guys want the best setups in the market. I keep going back to that thought. I'm just like, why is everybody so like crazy in the market? Why are they so emotionally driven when like nothing is really wrong? Let's see here. Like, ooh, government shutdown. What do you think they're gonna do? Leave the government shut down forever? No. You think they're gonna leave these air traffic doing what it's doing, significantly decreasing and declining? No, they're not gonna do that. There's going to be some political pandering. There's going to be all sorts of nonsense. They're going to come to some sort of agreement to kick the can down the road, and then the market's going to lie. It's just like the same playbook over and over and over, guys. Same thing with the tariffs. What happens? Trump comes out and threatens new tariffs. The market sells off. You see a lot more kind of him sticking to his guns, and then it's like, oh, here's when the meeting date is going to be. They go to the meeting. We see positive developments, and the week following, we get more details on those developments. It's like, guys, the same thing happens over and over and over again. That's why it's like, you never really need to be worried about a lot of these things unless something is actually wrong. And if there is something actually wrong, obviously I'm going to be the one to tell you guys. Jimmy, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Yeah, or you could hit the like button. You know, there goes the market slipping a little. Slip, slip. It's just, I don't get it. It's like, I tell you guys all the time, and I outline the reasons exactly why. Like, everything's fine. And then people still lose their minds. I'm like, okay, don't listen. Freak out. See how that goes for you. Probably not well. But we do have another mastermind lesson tonight, which is going to be awesome. This is the mastermind lesson tonight is on fiscal and monetary policy. So you guys all have what do you call it? You guys all have access to still be able to hop into the mastermind. There's just no discounts now. If you want the craziest setups in the market, join. John, what's up, buddy? How you doing? So yeah, I'll throw the link to LTMP in the live chat for you guys here too. Remember, use code November, get 50% off your first month. Prices are going up significantly at the end of the month though. So if you want to lock in the lower rate and make sure the price never goes up on you, make sure you guys lock in that lower rate. Hop in before then. Let me see if there's anything else going on Twitter. I mean, I don't really see a whole lot going on here. Poly market traders are expecting the government shutdown to end this week. I would expect that as well. You got the United stuff. Yeah, it's just chop. It's like this chop in the market. Also, where's gold right now? Is gold still heading up or is it kind of balancing in here? Yeah, gold still looks really good. I mean, again, guys, when I outlined this gold idea for you guys when GLD was at 317 and you just got a straight shot up all the way to 403, the trade on this was disgusting where you got that candle closed down below the daily 10. I'm never going to be selling GLD. This is going to stay in my portfolios forever. I don't, especially with where we're headed. Think about it like this too. Let's actually talk about some of the other developments this weekend as well. Like, the Trump administration is doing some really ridiculous things. The stimulus stuff is interesting because if it actually is due to tariff revenue and they're returning it to people in the United States, okay, that's interesting. But the other thing, the 50-year mortgage is quite honestly one of the most idiotic things I have ever heard. Adrian says, if you haven't yet joined the mastermind, don't take too long to do it. I'm new to it this year, and so far so good. SCB makes it interesting and easy. Adrian, thank you, man. I appreciate it. But the 50-year mortgage is one of the dumbest things possible, and this is something that we were talking about on Friday, that when, like, the government gets more involved in things, or like, they start to take these types of actions, everything gets more expensive. If monthly payments, okay, think about it like this. If monthly payments, guys, are lower, if you have a longer time to pay off a loan, it means that in the short term, you can afford a more expensive home. So it moves everybody up. And it also increases the prices across the board of housing. So if we're thinking about an affordability crisis here, it honestly doesn't really do anything to make homes more affordable. Well, I highlight when gold is good for a re-entry. I mean, if it forms a setup from here, sure, but I don't really see it. I mean, we talked about it on Friday, and I was like, it's not bad over this area, like right around this area right here, this 371. But I was like, it's not really a setup. It just kind of looks like it wants to fish hook back to the upside. But yeah, I will. If there's a setup on it, I'll tell you. The problem is that, like, when you look at these things, what does it actually do? Well, when you see just random, like, because it's not actually like a real transaction that takes place. It's like they're what they're doing is they're inflating prices. So it basically is another way to devalue the dollar, which is going to increase increase inflationary pressures across the system. The amount that you're paying in interest, I think, doubles. It's absolutely ridiculous that anybody would suggest a 50-year mortgage for people, because people aren't going to understand that. They're going to say, ooh, monthly payment lower. I like that. If you guys look back at when, like, cars started to get really expensive, it's when loans started to come out. If you look at when college started to get really expensive, it's right at the time when the government started to guarantee the loans. It means invest in houses. Well, sure, if the payments are going to be a lot lower, then there's a little bit more, there's a little bit of a better argument there to say, okay, rental properties could be a little bit better. But at the same time, it's like, it's such a stupid thing to do, because what you're dealing with here is an affordability crisis across the board. Now, yes, it will decrease monthly payments, but it's going to end up hurting people across the board more. Because in order, let's just say for, like, over time, you're holding these homes, the value of these homes has to go up so much more at the end of, let's say, this 50 years. Like, if I bought a house when I was 20 and I held it till I was 70, the value of that home has to go up so much in order for me to, like, break even just based off of the interest payments that you'd be paying. Like, generational more, it's just such a bad idea. It will increase inflationary pressures across the system, devalue the dollar, and that's why things like GLD, gold, like precious metals and hard assets, are going to continue to increase in value. Because think about what we've been talking about across the board. The Fed is okay with letting inflation run a little bit above target for the foreseeable future here, as long as growth is not sacrificed. And what is that? We know that's the game plan. So then what happens? Value of the dollar goes down. You need to own hard assets. It's as simple as that, guys. So, but the news of the government shutdown looking like it's going to end is very positive for the market. But again, like we talked about, I wouldn't expect to see anything crazy today in addition, unless we got further news on what was going to happen with the government shutdown. And that's the main thing that I think people forget all the time, is that, like, with these overnight markets, the market's already made the move that it wanted to off of this news. It's not going to continue going for no reason. It needs another reason to get going here. So it makes more sense for it to have a little bit of a short-term pullback than it does for it to continue up, which is why, again, that I was telling everybody this morning in LTMP, it was like, this is not the day to go slinging. Like I say all the time, we sell gap ups, we don't buy them. Jimmy says, got news to share. Paid off your mortgage over the weekend. Nice. Sleep well at night. I mean, there's different arguments for doing so. I mean, it doesn't, either way, it's like, whatever makes you feel more comfortable at the end of the day, I would do that, you know? Let's see what Bud is starting to move back to the upside there. I like that. You're seeing some of the bigger tech names starting to slip here. Google slipping, Apple slipping a little bit, just with the overall market moving down. You refied in 21? Yeah. Yeah, market moving down here, exactly what we expected. Guys, I don't know how many more times because it's most of the time, I think what happens here is I outline something for you guys in a risk and like something that's about to happen. And it's like, oh, here's what's about to happen. Be careful. And then some of you guys are like, nah, I think it's going to keep going. And then it just like doesn't end up well. It's like, there are so many instances, and I just want to say it like this too. Especially recently, it's like in my personal life or in here, it's just like, if everybody just listened, you'd be in such a better position. You know, it's just weird. It's like, how many times do I need to get proven right for you guys to understand? You know, across the board with hopping into LTMP, like understanding that these are the right ways to be operating in the market. Like when the times are to be taking on significant risk in the market, not significant, but like more risk in the market when not buying stocks that are up like a bajillion % in 2 weeks. Like, how many times do I need to be right for you guys to be like, oh, I'm just gonna listen now? You know, it's like, and some of you guys still won't listen. Here comes the market nuking right back down to the volatility zone. Let's see if it bounces here. This was the risk today. This was what we were outlining. Now that we've done this, now we can see where the market wants to go from here. If it wants to nuke all day now, which is a possibility, we have to be prepared for that, which is why the game plan this week was still size for zero. If you touch anything, don't be going crazy, because this is a very, very realistic possibility of what can happen in the market. Shocker. I know, right? I wish somebody outlined this as a possibility for everybody. Like, you know, it's like, just listen, you know, just pay attention or pay a premium. I cannot stress these things enough. Just listen. You'll be way better off if you just pay attention. The smartest thing most of the time to do in the market, guys, is to not touch anything. Don't be one of these idiots out there that is just like, I have to do something every second of the day or else I feel unproductive. None of that. Don't be that individual, because it's a guaranteed way to fail. Bud's looking like it wants to move back up here. That's good. What are the other alcohol brands doing? Tap's moving back up nicely there. What about BF.A? Is that moving? No, that's interesting. Okay. Are we bouncing off this volatility zone here? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so now that we've gotten that pullback, now we got to see what the market wants to do. So, you love my energy today and your advice. Well, it's a giant, it's like think about the last 4 or 5 months. Fun time. I'm handing you guys like 32 10x trades in a short period of time. I'm like, these are the periods in the market where you guys have to be making your money, because there's going to come a time that it's just, you have to sit on your hands and you have to preserve capital. I said it over and over and over and over and over again. I said it so many times. And then what happens? We get the tweet from Trump about the China stuff, and I'm like, that's it. Nope. It's done. Stop. Size for zero or take nothing. And then we go through a period of like 3.5 weeks here where things are a little bit volatile. Those of you guys that listen were able to keep your high watermark of all of the money that you made during those fun periods of time, which again, that's how the market works. The vast majority of your trades, guys, and the money that you're going to make in the year are going to come from a small percentage of your trades. That's what the market is. That, you want the secret? There it is. That's what the secret is. You're going to be bored all the time. And then we come to today, in which we were getting to the end of the period where things were looking very volatile, and I was saying, nobody should really be worried about this, because again, it's like you're seeing things starting to crack. We know the playbook with the government shutdown. It never stays closed for too long. Something's going to start happening in the near future. Then we get to this weekend. And what happened this weekend? Ooh, new resolution gets voted on. They effectively pass it, and now it needs to go to the House, and now we can move on from there. But the caveat is the market is going to react very aggressively to that piece of news because there's been so much fear in the market. So obviously it's going to snap back to the upside. Now in the periods after that, you need to see additional amounts of news in order to drive this market even higher. Which is why I said in the beginning of today, I was like, don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything crazy because this is most likely what's going to happen. You're going to see it rip up. You're going to see it chop, be volatile. And the name of the game in this environment right here is to, okay, you see something good? Again, same game plan as it has been. Size for zero, trade it very small. Make sure that you're keeping your risk in check. But we're waiting for those really awesome setups to form. If you do not have, I tweeted this out yesterday too. If you are unable to sit on your hands when the market conditions are unfavorable, you don't deserve the gains that the market is going to give everybody when the market conditions are favorable. You just don't. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to go through everybody, like I say all the time, guys, hitting those big multi-100 and multi-1,000% trades that I hand out to LTMP is not hard. It's like the easiest part of what we do. The hard part is making sure that you can preserve your capital in the times like since the tweet came out and say, okay, this is not necessarily the smart thing to do. ES1 chart shows you're probably delayed. You probably aren't paying for the right data feed. So at this point, this is why I keep saying, just like I said when I was calling, when we had that period of 30 10x trades in 3 months, it's like, how many more of these are you going to miss? And now it's like, how many more times are you guys going to not some of you, I mean, most of you guys are, but how many times is everybody going to not listen? You'd be so much better off if you just listened, you know? It's just logic. It's just this, like, logically, like, okay, if I was wrong all the time, then it would make more sense. Be like, I don't know if I want to listen here. He might be wrong again. But like, and like what I'm doing here is not hard. Reading the market conditions is not hard. Understanding what's happening in the system is not hard. I'm not sure, Brandon. It should be in your settings somewhere. It should be like data feed subscriptions. So again, I'm gonna throw the link to LTMP in here for you guys. Again, pay attention or pay a premium. Prices are just gonna continue to go up. If you were an individual that got scared and freaked out over the last month here, nobody in LTMP was scared. All they did was sit back, relax, and wait. Size for zero. We had some absolutely insane trades during that time period too. Let's see. Market's coming down to the volatility zone. We'll see what it wants to do from there. And then we're going to wait for the best setups in the market to continue forming, as we always do. So again, keep smacking that like on the way in if this stuff is getting across to you guys. If you guys hit 200 likes on the stream, I will give you some more of the best setups in the market. The last time that you guys hit the like threshold, it was the PDD trade, 300%. So pay attention or pay a premium. Gold looks really good today. If we lose the volatility zone, then we would have some issues, but I don't think we're gonna. I don't think there's enough like bad news coming out right now or anything driving this to like actually sell this thing through. If it does, that's a problem. Because then you have another period, like I think we saw one of the times last week where it was like something weird's going on here. And still, this move right here, guys, is going to scare a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be really, really scared by this. What did I tell you guys this morning in LTMP, the entire morning? What have I told you guys so far today? There's no reason to be worried, especially about money that you're not planning on touching for a while anyway. You know, it's like, well, what are we doing here? We're going to freak out about money that we're investing for the next 5 or 10 years? Really? Okay. You know, it's like, it just doesn't make sense. If you guys just listen, it's going to go a lot better for you. So now we're getting this nuke into the volatility zone. We'll see what this thing wants to do. Gold still looks good. What's moving right now? Where are the banks? I want to take a look at the banks here. Where's Wells Fargo? Where's JP Morgan? How are those looking? New high on rig. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. I really like how this looks. This is nasty. I really do like this because you did break this level right here now, the big 407. That looks really good. Rig looks great. It is pretty terrifying. It's not, though, when you see these things. And it comes from... Yeah, now we're getting to the bottom side of that volatility zone. Yeah, I think it's going to push through. Yep, there it goes. Why am I... I'm not getting my trading view alerts today. There it is. Yeah, rig looks insanely good, though. Where's Bud? How's this looking? So is this moving down with the market, or is this holding on? No, Bud is holding on and pushing to the upside there. That's good. So again, if you don't have the ability to sit on your hands, do not try and trade short term. Just don't do it. And you can still see it across the board everywhere. All this fear, and it's like, oh my God, what is wrong with everybody? Seriously. Like, Nova? Yeah, it's a company that I think is going to perform really, really well over the next 5 to 10 years. I'm not really concerned what it's doing in the short term here with all the volatility because, again, they have to do a lot of, what do you call it? Okay, so the main thing on Novo, there is not a single argument out there that I can see that would justify Novo trading below the 2022 levels and the levels at which it, like, if you look at the revenues of Novo, the thesis is still the exact same. Novo has had and continues to have a massive revenue increase as a result of these GLP-1s. Now they have oral, now they have this special deal with the United States government, and they also have a potential partnership again with HIMSS coming in the near future. Now, if you're gonna say that a company has then had revenues increase so significantly and are continuing to grow at a solid pace, but are trading at levels at which they were before that revenue increase, that does not make any sense. Novo, to me, is wildly undervalued right now, and I actually, if we get a base on this thing, I will probably buy a lot more of it. But it's healthcare too, so you're gonna have a lot of volatility with it. Yeah, market leak in there. Uh-oh. Oh no. No, the TP for rig is not 414. That's, no. What? No, you got, I mean, you could use 432, but 475 would basically be that good first one there on rig. Like, there's really no justifying that. Like, they've had, the management has fumbled a little bit, but they're taking a lot of steps forward to do the things that they need to do in order to get the investor sentiment back up. But, like, obviously in the short term, you're going to see about, we're doomed! It's over, guys! It's over! Sell everything! It's over! It's over. Everybody freak out. Everybody freak out. It's over. It's done. It's like... like, when I say it like that, do you guys see how silly it sounds? You're like, oh, now it makes sense why that's really silly. We're going to see increased levels of volatility. It's still going to stay. That's why I've been saying, you just size for, if you touch anything, size for zero. If not, you just kind of sit there, relax, and do nothing and wait for the best setups to form when everything starts to settle down, which will probably be over the next week or two, if it happens. If not, we're just going to go into another period of volatility. You know what we do? We just touch nothing. You know? It's simple, guys. Don't overcomplicate it and don't freak yourself out. And it really comes from, like, just listening to people who have no idea what they're talking about. Like, in the market, it's like, we know what the macro thesis is. It's running hot. Are we going to see a lot of volatility in the short term with all the new pieces of news coming out? Yeah. Of course we are. Where's Bud? Bud is still looking really good. I love that. You will start buying cash secured puts. You can't buy a cash secured put. Rig is looking great though. This is looking really good. Where is Bull right now? Is it getting killed? Please. Please get killed. Yes. Die. Die. Lower. Go down. Down! I want this thing to base at like 850. I'd start hitting it pretty hard there. It is so interesting though with like all of the fear. Like you can see it in just like across the board. It's just like, okay. You guys know what the best way to be operating in the market is. You guys all know what you need to be doing in order if you want to actually have long-term success. It's just about making those proper decisions. And it's not that hard to do because most of the time the best decision, do nothing. Touch nothing. And it's frustrating for me because like I know that like all of you guys, if you just listened, you'd have so much more success. Especially those of you guys on the outside that like aren't in LTMP yet. It's just like, just listen. Like I don't know what you're doing. Oh, you don't want to have like have periods where there's like 30 10x trades in a row and then it's like don't stop, you get to keep your high water mark and then just wait? No? Okay. You want to just chop yourself around, get scared and emotional all the time? Okay, do that. Have fun. Have fun. Go have a good time. You know? You wanted to go against what I was saying today where it was like, you probably don't want to touch on anything. The market is already up so much. It's like you want to let this thing kind of balance out, wait for the great setups to form. You wanted to go against what I said again? Oh, okay. All right. Good luck with that. Load on puts. Gold's still looking great over here. Where's AMD? Where's my baby today? Is this still up over 4%? 4 or 5%? Yeah, 4.5% on AMD today. Things looking great. You shift above here, you could easily get a new setup on AMD. Miran says 50 basis points cut appropriate for December, 25 basis points at a minimum. House Freedom Caucus chair is a probable yes on the stopgap. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Oh. Yeah, Rig is looking beautiful here. That's insane. That chart looks insane. Like, it's just this fear that you see. It's just like, I don't even know the right way to describe it. I'm like, what are you afraid of? Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, are we buying now? It's just like these elevated levels of just like anxiousness. It's like, relax, calm down, you know? Calm down. Everybody's losing their mind all the time in the market. Just chill out. Like, let me see. Where is one of these accounts? I just want to see where it is. Yeah, it's like barely off of the highs. You think I'm worried? Because again, the lessons that I give you guys during the periods when the market conditions are favorable are what is going to carry you through the market conditions when the market conditions that are less favorable. Because if you can give yourself such a buffer, which is exactly what you all need to be focusing in on, that's why like those periods when the market is hot are so important, and why I've been saying recently that like all of you need to be prepared for when that happens. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go to through periods like this where you're still going to be trying to take a lot of action, and it's just like, all right, you're just going to screw yourself, you know? RKT. Let's look. I think yields were up. I think RKT's probably... that looks a little interesting. You could get a little setup in here coming in soon. That could be fun. So here's what we need to look for now. One of the things that we have seen recently out of the market is that when these waterfalls do happen, they continue and they are very aggressive. What was I saying in the private stream with you guys this morning, where I was like, if we start to see the sellers take control, we need to see something out of the buyers that says no, in order for us to get a good understanding of what the overall actual sentiment is out there from like big capital as a whole. Now, if right now we were to see this bottom at this volatility zone basically and start to trend back to the upside here, to me that would be a very positive sign, because the sellers in this case were not able to do this, they weren't able to do this, they weren't able to do this, they weren't able to do all of these big moves. Like this, in comparison to what we've seen recently, is tiny, really, really, really small. If the buyers step up on this and start pushing this thing back to the upside, to me that would be a very positive sign. But again, it's phasing it. Like you can't just look at one day and be like, oh no, it's back now. It's like, no, it happens in phases. You have to be very, very sure that, okay, those big moves to the downside, unless it's going to be the result of crazy news happening, are going to get bought up, and you're going to be able to say, okay, the buyers are back, everything is looking good again. Because what was the news that came out and drove this move? Like, think about this move in context here. What actually happened on this move down? Nothing. Nothing happened. So if nothing happened and nothing has changed, then you're still in the same situation where you have positive trade developments with China. You have the government funding bill looking like it's going to go through the House. And then you also have a Fed also coming out from Mirren over there saying 50 basis points in December. They're about to start getting new data. We already know that a lot of the labor market data has been less favorable than it needs to be. So, again, unemployment going up, and the worst jobs report that we've seen since, like, what? Private payroll since, like, 2002, 2003? Now, there's other things that we have to talk about with that, such as like, okay, the Fed cutting rates can easily lead to increased levels of unemployment because the increased credit availability is most likely going to go into the AI space. And if you can increase those AI technological developments faster, well, it leads to higher levels of unemployment if AI is one of the driving factors now that is already causing these levels of unemployment to go up. That's a secondary issue that'll take a little bit longer to play out. But what is the Fed actually going to use its toolkit for? Well, they're going to try and use it to prevent this a potential massive spike in unemployment. Okay, what do? Well, they end quantitative tightening. They go into a period of nothing. You start QE in 2026, and you also cut interest rates. What does that do? Well, it adds fuel and liquidity to the system. Now we're seeing the buyers starting to buy this thing back up here, right off around that volatility zone area. Now we can see where the market wants to go from here. Are these things making sense to everybody? Like, I really hope they are. And this is why I sit here and I do this for you guys every single day, even though I'm demonetized on YouTube for calling out the best trades in the market. You know? You guys gotta pay attention. If you don't pay attention, I can lead you to water, but I can't make you drink. You know? I'm pretty good at peer pressuring. I can't force you. D-nut round 3. I mean, I can look at it, but I don't really. Nah, I'm not going near D-nut here. I don't really see a reason to be screwing around with D-nut. I think there's going to be way better setups in the market that are forming, like something like Rig here. This is disgusting, and this stock could double. This stock could go to 6. Not double. I mean, this thing could go to $6 pretty quickly. Rig looks really, really, really good. I wouldn't chase this now, you're late, but this is one that was outlined for LTMP over the weekend. This is one that we've been talking about over the last few weeks. Another really, really hot start to this one. Really, really strong move, guys. Google looks really good too. Again, you're just going to be dealing with the market volatility, which is why size for 0. Where's AEO too? Because that was round 2 on that recent setup. How's that look? Yeah, I mean, this looks good here. AEO is still looking pretty solid. So, again, keep smacking that like on the way in. I'll probably have some shorts out for you guys today. The mastermind tonight is going to be insane, so I hope you guys are ready for that. If you guys haven't jumped in there yet, make sure you guys do. Yeah, Rig is moving. There you go. Rig looks insane. Yeah, I had alerts on that one, and then Logan re-brought it back up yesterday in market chat when I was going through my list. This is just perfect, guys. Like, this is textbook, A+. These are the types of charts you need to be looking LFG rig. Yeah, nice work, guys. This is looking really good. Yeah, first target on that one's probably 475, and then you could probably look for $6, and then 640, and then 688. That's probably what you're looking for on that one. AEO still making the free publicity? Yeah, but it's not necessarily like anything like the AEO. That's why I'm not trading them anymore. That I don't want like the AEOs, the D nuts. It's like it's not the time period where like Wall Street Bets is gonna go nuts on it. Like okay, Wall Street Bets is the group of people that is gonna start freaking out. Like, that's the demographic of people that's going to, like, literally lose their mind and just start shorting things. With no rhyme or reason. They're going to be like, I'm short. Collapse coming. And it's like, okay. They're not in the mindset right now to be like, oh, they're going to go pump stuff. Trump has said that after the 2,000 payments are distributed to low and middle income Americans using revenue connected from foreign tariffs, any remaining funds will be applied to lowering the debt. It's interesting. We'll see what they're able to do. Reg is pumping here. Guys, there's another one. That's looking awesome. That is looking absolutely awesome for everybody. Good work. Good work. There it is. Moving. Rig moving, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to all you guys in LTMP that are paying attention. That 5-minute opening range break here. See? This is what your trade looks like right now. Ready? You got a nice gap up. Top side of the... Oh, it did fall below. That one's a little funky. I mean, it did bounce off the 200, so I'd probably still have been okay with that. But you're already sitting at, what, 1 to 1.7 risk to reward on that? There you go. And the first target is what? What did I say? 475, I think I said. Something like that. What did I say? Yeah, 474. So your first target is at what? For risk to reward. Oh, 1 to 8? Oh, nice. Oh, cool. Oh, that's pretty neat. 1 to 8 risk to reward to the first target? Huh. So when I say that, like, even like if you think about it in terms of like versus options versus if you have 1% risk on this trade, again, that's 8 times your risk. That's why I say all the time, it's like, especially with options, it's like every single trade that I outline has the potential to run multi-hundreds, if not multi-thousands of %. These are the trades that you have to be in if you want to have any chance at having long-term success. Some of you, I don't think everybody does, and that's okay. So market just bouncing around this volatility zone here. Let's see. Google working its way back up a little. That looks like a nasty chart. If this market actually gets some legs after this craziness, oh boy, Google could go nutty. Especially with a little bit of AI news. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, so you've got a 1 to 8 risk reward to your first TP on rig. That means that if that first target hits, you would need to lose 7 or 8 trades in a row in order to just be back at break even. That's why everybody loves LTMP so much. So I can throw the link in the live chat for you guys here too. The link is pinned to the top of the live chat. But again, use code November, get 50% off your first month. This is the time, like these times in the market, guys, are the times that you have to learn these things so that when the market fires and it just goes all at once, everything goes crazy, which happens a lot more often than everybody thinks it does. You're ready for it, because then you're not going to miss and be one of those individual that waits around. And then I come out and I go, guys, you missed 10x trades in a row. What are you doing? It happened last time, right? I warned you guys after the first 5, the first 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And it was like, what do you want me to do? There's not much more I can do here. Like, we're doing stuff that the trading community has never seen before. Because the stock bounced up that level twice last year. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I mean, that's not a target. I mean, I would go up to this area right here, 475. That's perfect. You could maybe use 432, but like, I mean, why? You've got a lot of upside to this one. This is going to be a bigger level, I think, than this one. You know? Yeah, so let's see if this market can bounce out of the volatility zone and see where we can go from there. Simple. We don't need to overcomplicate it, guys. We knew this was a possibility. We operated accordingly. We can go from there. Ooh, is Bud moving? A little bit. This could actually form another setup in here and then get going. Like, if you get through 64, oh boy, that thing could be filthy. Anyone drink any Bud to pump the stock this weekend? Fun fact, I think in my entire life, I've probably had a total of 5 completed beers. I just don't like beer. It's just not for me. Love. Big tequila guy. Love a good tequila. Seltzers are good. Casamigos makes a new, very interesting, like, high percentage, like, margarita thing. Oh, it's really good. You want the gap? This? 66? Yeah, I mean, I think it could easily do that. Market moving back down, chopping around. We'll see. Rig is still looking great, up 4% today. You got Google up a decent amount. Gold is looking great. In position A, guys. Oh, I'm so busy today. I wanted to go to the gym, the actual gym, and be able to do stuff, but I can't because I'm doing the mastermind with you guys. You guys are taking my time away. I'm just kidding. I have to go later tonight. Be like all the celebs and start the LTMP small batch tequila line. I mean, I could, but the problem would be is that if I were to actually make a tequila, I'd like really do it legit, and because I wouldn't want to have a bad tequila, you know? I'd have to have the best tequila. And that would be very expensive and not worth my time. 100% agave, 1000% trades. I like that, C-Rich. That's good. I like that. We make time for things we care about. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to. I can't really, like, I gotta do a bunch of stuff today. I have so much stuff I gotta do. I was traveling yesterday. I'm busy. I'm going on a trip this week. I'm going to Nashville. I'm going to party it up in Nashville. Well, yeah, so no streams Thursday and Friday. I don't know how much I'm going to be around either. Usually when I go on trips, I'm still around, but this one, I make no promises. You guys can survive for 2 days. I think. I don't know. Maybe you'll start buying stocks after they're up to 1,000% in a week. After I'm not here for 2 days. I hope not. Yeah, Bud still looks great, guys. I mean, that's a very, very, very strong looking chart. Johnson recalls House as Senate moves to end shutdown. House Speaker Mike Johnson called lawmakers back to Washington after Senate passed a short-term funding bill 60-40 to end the 41-day shutdown. He said the House will vote within 36 hours and praised bipartisan support, calling the deal the beginning to the end. Nice. Bachelor party? No. See any concerts? No. I'm pretty sure we're just going to go to the bars. It's going to be really fun, though. I was worried with the flight stuff. I still kind of am. It's not so much getting there, because Logan is really good. It's getting back that I'm a little worried about. Now, if they get the government shutdown stuff figured out and the FAA workers come back, then we're fine. But getting back is the issue, I think. I think getting there is fine. Because the flight's early. It's like not. I think it's fine. Cool. This looks disgusting. If this hits, this is going to be one of the massive ones for LTMP. I mean, that's a pure share trade there, but you've got a 1 to 8. It's more than 1 to 8 risk to reward to the first target. So it's already over like a 1 to 1. Logan is pretty good. Logan is one of the worst airports around. You travel a lot. That's just not true. I've been to every other. Logan is actually the airport that I've never had issues with. I have the worst luck at airports ever. Miami sucks. O'Hare, really busy. I've literally never had a problem at Logan. No lines, no nothing. It's always good. And it's like surprisingly good at Logan, which is interesting. Like, even during this shutdown stuff, when there were lines everywhere, like, there were TikToks all over the place. I was like, it took me 2 minutes to get through security, and everything's fine. Like, I've literally never had an issue. Okay, now I'm saying it. It's probably going to be the worst travel day in history. But I've like, not had issues at Logan ever. Yeah, Bud still looks really good here. Market's just goofing around. They're goofing. I think when the House is back and they start voting, that could be the next kind of step there. And then once we get a couple of pieces of economic data, the problem is now that if we start getting the data, it's going to be a very, very weird reaction to it, because you're going to be getting data from the past. You're going to be like, oh, like this was maybe the data from August or September, but it's like, who cares? Like, what is the data looking like now? You know? Yeah, now that I've said I've never had problems at Logan, it's probably going to be the worst experience of my entire life. Thanks, guys. If that happens, I'm blaming Hal. Hal, I'm blaming you. That's what's going to happen. Hal, you're getting blamed. It's all your fault. That's how it goes. Yeah. So again, market's doing exactly what we expected was a high likelihood, a high possibility today. Sorry, man. Just blaming you, buddy. Game plan is the same. Sit back, relax, and wait for the best setups in the market to form, as we always do. Oh, also, make sure that you guys are following me on Instagram, too. The new Instagram account, and make sure you guys turn on notifications for that account, too. Let me see if I can grab the link. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? New Instagram reel. I'm trying to find the link to the account. Yeah, here it is. So here's the new Instagram account, because they banned me for being too good at what we do. So make sure you guys are following on there. Have notifications turned on. So that's Short the VIX 3. Let me see. What's the TikTok too? Because you guys should be following me on TikTok too. I'm going to try to post a lot more. What is my TikTok handle? Short the VIX 1 on TikTok. Short the VIX 2 on Twitter. And Short the VIX 3 on Instagram. Oh, that's kind of cool. That kind of works. And then it's just Short the VIX on YouTube. That works. Nice. Cool. So yeah, make sure you guys are following. I mean, this market's just kind of boring me right now. It's like, all right, it's doing everything that we thought it was going to do. Let's just go hunt for better setups, you know? Just hunt for the best setups in the market that we always do. There's really nothing to do coming into today. What do the China names look like? Because PDD was kind of looking, not interesting, but like it had a weird look to it. What are these doing today? Yeah, I mean, they have earnings coming up, but these China names kind of looking. PDD looks good. Not really. Baba looks like garbage. Baidu. That doesn't look bad. I mean, they're just gappy. That's the issue with them. Like, if you just had candles in here, you'd be fine. But, like, they just look a little... They're just gappy, so they look strange. But they do look good. But they do have earnings coming up, so you got to be really careful. I wouldn't be going near those. I just want to see where they're at. Where's Yin? Yin looks kind of interesting. You're playing Minecraft? Yeah, I'm probably going to do a bunch of crosswords today and mastermind stuff. And make videos for you guys. You know? So. OMCL. Yeah, where is that? Because that's been one. OMCL. Let's see. Yeah, that looks interesting. I like that. That would probably be a share trade because the chain is really bad. Yeah, that was the one that Rosia put in there a couple weeks, or what, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, JFK and Miami are terrible. I've had horrors. The one time I was at JFK was the worst ever. And then, what else have I been to that's bad? That's really it. I mean, Miami sucks. I always have issues at Miami. But, guys, it is 11:30. We are going to be wrapping it up here for today. Again, for those of you guys that still need to hop in to LTMP, get 50% off your first month with code November, and make sure you're locking in the lower rate before the prices go up at the end of the month. Again, there's the link right there for you. Again, make sure your Discord account is connected to your WAP account. Once you guys hop in, I'll direct you to the Start Here area. You can go through the learning curriculum videos and ask me any questions that you guys have. Those learning curriculums are absolutely mandatory if you want to have any idea of what the watch lists mean or what we talk about on most of the streams. So, folks, I'll be hanging out with you guys in LTMP for the rest of the day. I'm going to be working on some stuff and getting ready for the mastermind tonight. Tonight's mastermind is going to be awesome, guys. So again, if you guys aren't in there yet, make sure you guys hop in there with us. It's the college level education in markets, investing, and finance in general. The stuff that we've done so far is epic. Tonight's is going to be really fun. Wednesdays is microeconomics, and then I think next week we start really I don't know. I got to look at the schedule that I have. But it's either next week or the week after is when we really start to get into all of the like investment analysis type of stuff. Oh no, I think we have to go through all of like the finance stuff first. Yeah, I think we go through all the finance stuff first, then we get into the investment analysis stuff. So that'll be really fun. But guys, I will see you later. Have a great rest of the day. If there's anything crazy, I'll let you guys know. What do you call it? Was watching the recording of the last session this morning. Loved it. Hyped to continue. See Rich. Yeah, guys, the mastermind's epic. It's the most valuable thing that I offer. It is, like I say a lot, like it's so obvious that like the people, like when you guys talk, it's very obvious to me who was in the last mastermind and who wasn't. So again, make sure you guys are hopping in there. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.